Hi everyone, Edison Vasquez at Comreal. Hope everyone is doing well. Today we're discussing 3 mistakes industrial tenants should avoid. Leasing industrial space or renewing an existing lease shouldn't be rocket science. Done right, it should help the company grow as the tenant negotiates favorable terms for the lease. However, in many cases, tenants tend to make mistakes at the moment of negotiating a lease. The result is unfavorable terms on the lease that can hurt the company's growth. Here we explain 3 mistakes the tenants should avoid at the moment of looking at a space to lease. Number 1, not hiring the right broker. We see many cases where tenants negotiate a lease or lease renewals directly with the landlord's agent. Well, the landlord's agent works for the landlord and will look to negotiate the best terms for the landlord. Tenants should have a broker work on their behalf and negotiate terms favorable for the tenant. So it's important for tenants to hire a broker who specializes on the space they're looking at, in this case industrial space, and somebody who can work with tenants to negotiate and leverage their position to get the best terms from the landlord. Number 2, taking too long to search or waiting until the last minute. When looking at spaces, in the case of tenants, time is your friend. The more time we have, the more leverage we have to negotiate terms with the landlord. Many tenants wait too long to make a decision on a space, or they wait too much when the lease is up for renewal. In the case of new space, tenants should start looking at space at least a year before the occupancy. This will give them plenty of time to look at the space, explore all the options, and negotiate the favorable terms. The worst case is when there's only a few weeks left until they need to occupy the space and they're left with unfavorable spaces and cannot negotiate favorable terms for the lease. In the case of lease renewals, tenants should consider engaging the landlord on a lease renewal at least 2 years before the lease expires. This will give them plenty of time to negotiate favorable terms, and in the case they're not able to negotiate favorable terms, they can search for spaces in the market. Remember, for tenants, time is your friend, and the more time you have before you need to occupy, the better it is for your leverage. Number 3, signing a lease without an attorney reviewing it. We see many cases where tenants trust the landlord and their agent to deliver the lease agreement with all the terms outlined in the lease. However, tenants should have an attorney review those terms and confirm that everything on the lease matches what was negotiated, especially different clauses that were not mentioned on the lease proposal and can be added to the lease. We see that sometimes landlords add languages that can be unfavorable for the tenant. For example, landlord can add maintenance and repairs that were not negotiated during the lease proposal that can be added to the lease. So it's important for the tenant to have an attorney review and comment on these leases to make sure those terms are agreeable and what was negotiated. This should help the tenant have peace of mind during the lease term so the company can grow in the long term. Hope this helps, and thanks for following us. Our teams are leaders in the sales and leasing of industrial space here in South Florida. You can check out our website at warehousesmarket.com for more information and to find out about our listings and industrial real estate. Take care, be safe.
Thanks for watching and thanks for following us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can go to warehousestv.com to visit all of our videos on the library. You can also follow us on social media on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can always visit our website at warehousesmarket.com for all information on industrial real estate and our properties. We look forward to hearing from you. Take care.